How we all doing today? It's Sticky here with the Sticky's Cabana. What the hell was that? But anyway,
hot dogs!
Well, see, once again, man. But yeah, we're going to go over our podcast here.
Hot dogs!
Man, I'm going to have to check that out, ain't we?
Hot dogs!
Yeah, let's go check this out.
Welcome to the Glizness, man.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah.
We're a local fresh hot dog cart operating out of Columbia. We're going to be posted up at Sticky's, though, if that's all right with you.
Absolutely. Always
All right,
looking forward to doing it. Yeah.
Gonna get a dog?
Yeah, absolutely. Please.
All right.
Yeah.
We got a quarter-pound all-beef dogs for you. See if we can get the bun open.
Yeah. A little sticky.
Little sticky. That's how we like them around here.
Absolutely. Well, that's a big dog. It's a big wiener.
Yeah. You know, I don't hear that often, so I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah. Looks great, man. Appreciate it. Oh, wow. Did you check out them glizzies out there, man? Them things were awesome.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we got to get some of them. They'll be out the Cabana this year. For sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, folks, this is Sticky here with Sticky's Cabana Podcast, Episode 8, Season 2. With me today?
Pippa.
Pippa. Hey.
Letsky.
Would you introduce yourself, tell you a little bit about yourself? And
Oof. Where do I begin? I started playing piano when I was 7, and I played guitar when I was 12, and mandolin when I was 35, and I picked up fiddle when I was 45, and I really ought to play really well, but I don't. But I do love that music. I love playing music really, really well. And yeah, my name is Pippa Letsky, and since coming to Columbia, I came to Columbia in 1985 with my husband and my child, and been here ever since. And I got involved with KOPN radio and started doing a show with them in 87 with bluegrass, and ended up living out in Harrisburg. And somebody out in Harrisburg called me on the station and said, what do you play? And I said, well, how do you know I play anything? And he said, well, it's obvious. And I went, okay. Well, I play guitar, but I don't have one. And then because coming from Italy, I sold the guitar. I didn't want to ship it because I didn't know how it would travel. And so then I ended up borrowing a guitar. And he said, did you want to come to a bluegrass jam? And oh, yeah, you know. Yeah. So I went to a bluegrass jam, and they said, what do you play? I said, guitar. He said, where is it? I said, it's at home. He said, what good does it do there? I went, oh. He said, bring it next time. And so I brought it. And he said, did you bring your guitar like I told you to? And I said, yes. And he said, where is it? I said, it's over there in the case. He said, well, get it out. And that was the Bluegrassers. Yeah. And that was really the beginning of me playing with other people.
With other folks.
Because I was real shy. Yeah. I used to play in my bedroom, you know, on guitar. And I used to get kind of bunged up if I didn't play, but it kind of got in the way of being human, you know, being friendly with people, because all I really wanted to do was play music on my own in my bedroom. And
the socializing was gone.
Yeah. But the Bluegrassers brought me out, and I learned how to play with a pick. Yeah. And not very well, but yeah.
Oh, what genre would you classify that you play completely in now?
Oh, well, it's hard, you know. It's hard to say. I'm singer-songwriter. Yeah. Because in 2010, I started working with a neighbor of mine called Steve Odell. He's a house painter, and he writes some really fine lyrics. So he sent me some words through Facebook and said, this is my first attempt at a bluegrass tune. And I went, oh, do you have a melody for it? And he said, not yet. I said, would you like a melody for it? And he said, well, that would be a collaboration.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I said, yeah. He said, okay. So I made a melody for it. And we worked together in a band for 8 years called the Pippa and the Strawmen. He put my name up front, and I really didn't want him to, but in the end he said, you know, name recognition And I went, okay, all right. So Pippa and the Straw Men, we have 2 albums up on Bandcamp, and they're mostly all songs that he sent me the lyrics and I put the melodies to. And that they call Americana or hillbilly funk or, singer-songwriter, folk music or whatever. And then I also got into writing fiddle tunes, and they started coming out Celtic, like Irish Celtic sounding. So I couldn't call myself a bluegrass musician, even though it was the bluegrassers that got me started, because my idiom is just wrong. You know, I'm English.
Yeah. Doesn't go well. Yeah.
It's the wrong accent.
It's different. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, KOPN, the guy was riding a bike down the road and he said, "You like that bluegrass music? We're looking for a host for the bluegrass show." And I said, "Well, my husband says I can't do bluegrass because I haven't got the right accent." And he said, "Well, go talk to the program director." The program director at the time was Butch Burrell, and he had a show, Cedar Creek Pickaway, for 20 years on Saturday mornings. A wonderful show under the name of Tennessee Hound Dog. So I went to talk to the Tennessee Hound Dog, and I said, "What about my accent?" And he said, on KOPN, we've got an American doing Irish music. Why can't we have an English person doing bluegrass music? Let's sell it.
Yes.
And so suddenly what I couldn't do because came, let's sell it because. Yeah. And that was what KOPN did for me.
Well, there you go. And you also, you host 2 different segments on KOPN now, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I did the bluegrass show for 30 years, and I got really tired of doing a show every week. And so then I quit in 2016, I think it was. And then they had a rotation on Tuesday afternoons, 3 to 5, called Anything Goes. And every week was a different show. And then somebody didn't show up on the 3rd week, and I said, I happened to be there. I said I could do it. So I did world music, different rhythms, different language, different lyrics. And so I got into African music and South American music, Latin American music, and Irish and Celtic and Scandinavian, German, and Asian. I've gotten into Asian music. And so I started doing world music on the 3rd Tuesday. And then they often needed somebody on the 5th Tuesday because that rotation wasn't frequent enough. So I did the 3rd and the 5th, 3 to 5 on the 3rd to 5th. And then COVID came.
Yeah.
And we had to send in our shows. We had to program our shows long distance. So we sent them in, and the program director said, the station manager said, you're able to send in pre-recorded shows. Can you take on half of World Woman? Because during COVID, what they did was they had somebody in the studio one week and then not in for that slot the next week. So you could have a show space between the people in the studios. And so I started doing World Woman on Sundays from 5 to 7 every other week because I could send them in. Yeah. And World Woman, I also do music from outside the borders of the USA. I do world musicians.
Yeah, I've tuned in a couple times on there. Yeah. I was like, I've got to check this out.
Yeah. So World Woman is 5 to 7 on Sundays, and I host it on the 2nd and 4th Sundays. We've got a really good guy on the first Sunday doing indie women. Yeah. And we got his name is Dallas Bridges, and he really likes to play indie music. And then Linda Day hosts on the 3rd Sunday. And then it's a free-for-all on the 5th, Sunday, whenever it comes up. Mm-hmm. We never know if it's going to be women in blues, women in folk, women in jazz, women in country. It's a wide variety.
It's kind of a mixed bag.
Yeah,
for sure.
So I do the 2nd and 4th on Sunday, 2nd and 4th Sundays, and now I do the the other way around. I can't remember. the 3rd and 5th, the first, 3rd and 5th Tuesdays.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's quite a schedule.
Yeah, it's only 2 hours, and it's just a blast. I mean, for a wannabe musician that couldn't get out of from hiding. KOPN was really good. It gave me a chance to work music, work in music, and I just
sounds like it was really enlightening for you.
It was.
Yeah.
It was the best thing that ever happened to me was hooking up with that radio station. It's a community radio station, so if anybody wants to volunteer, you just get a hold of kopn.org.
Yeah.
Go in there, and you can listen to the shows for 2 weeks after. You don't have to listen at the actual time because they're up on the website.
And they keep them up for a while.
2 weeks.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
They keep the shows up for 2 weeks.
So we also heard that you've been doing a thing called FOM lately.
Oh right,
yeah.
That's a thing.
Yeah, tell us about that one.
Okay, FAWM.
Yes.
.org is a website that goes live on the first day of February.
Okay.
And it shuts down on the last day of February. Not the whole website, but you can't post any more tunes on the last day of February. Then you've got March to listen to everybody else's. And what it is, it's a February album writing month. The challenge is to write 14 songs in 28 days. It's a challenge for yourself.
Yeah.
There's one for novel writing in November, Nano Novo or something like that. And there's another month, October, for line drawings as well. It's a thing where you just challenge yourself to do it. And they don't particularly want finished demos or anything like that, but you write a song and you post it so that everybody can see it. And then people read your lyrics, or they listen to your demo, and they comment and say, "Oh, that's really good." That you're only allowed to say positive things, which is what is really good, because you go there and you believe them when they say, "Oh, that's really good." You go, "Oh, they see me."
Yeah.
So the challenge is to write 14 songs in 28 days. FAWM, February Album Writing Month. There's 2,500 people, nearly 3,000 people around the world.
Wow.
Challenging themselves, and there's all types of music. I mean, there's grunge, there's rock, there's heavy metal, there's show tunes, there's, singer-songwriters.
Yeah.
There's, I post mostly fiddle tunes. And I play them on the mandolin. I try and play them on the fiddle, but I'm really not good on the fiddle because I didn't start until I was 45. Or I play them on my little piano, my computer piano, go plinky plink. And I was telling you about the song I wrote for my brother. It's a slow air. This year, it was the first song that I've really written with meaning, with big meaning, because my brother died, my oldest brother died 5 days before Christmas, and this was an improvisation that came up while I was busking in the farmers market 10 days before he died. And it's really a lovely slow air. It's a slow air is a tune that doesn't really go anywhere. It kind of meanders, and it doesn't loop. It doesn't turn around and repeat itself. And two of the people on FOM, one woman in Atlanta played it on the violin, because I posted the sheet music.
I bet that was great too.
Oh,
yeah.
Both of them are both versions. And then my friend Dragon Dreams in West Yorkshire, that's his handle on FOM. He's a really fine musician. He played it on the flute with reverb. And I posted that on Facebook.
Yeah,
that's the version
one
that I posted
listened
on
to.
Facebook.
Yeah.
And it came out really fine. So that counts as well. So altogether, I've posted 18 tunes.
Yeah.
But 3 of them are versions that other people have done of my tunes. Because I wrote a tune for Dragon Dreams' dog called Vinny. I'm writing. I love talking about myself. Let me talk about myself here.
That's what this is about. Yeah.
So I write fiddle tunes and I produce books. And this is the compendium. This is all my fiddle tunes for the year up until last year. And it's A to Z. It's A to Z. So I was looking for tunes, A's are easy to find. S titles, I've got lots and lots of S titles. I have to stop calling tunes anything that starts with S because I've got too many. A's are good, B's are good. I got a lot of B's. I don't have a lot of V's.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And Dragon Dreams has a little dog called Vinny. And I wrote him and said, could I write him a tune for Vinny? You know, because I needed V tunes. So Dragon Dreams did a version of that one on the flute as well.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
How many people do you think out of Columbia are involved with FOM?
There's 4 that I know.
Okay.
Yeah, Steve Odell, who writes the lyrics that for the songs that I'll be playing. He is the one who turned me on to FOM. He's been doing it for years and years and years and years and years. And they also have a 50-90, which is 50 songs in 90 days.
Jeez.
Which is July, August, and September. You know, and my July, August, and September is too busy. I'm out busking.
Oh yeah, that's your busy months for sure.
Yeah. That's the time when I'm playing as much as I possibly can outdoors. But the February month was just a lifesaver for me because February's an awful month.
Yeah, it's a long dread out month, and the weather and
black and it's depressing and everybody's depressed and. So February album writing month was life-saving for me. So and Steve Odell's on there, and then there are 2 other people that I know of anyway in Columbia. But it's free. Yeah. FOM.org. All you have to do is to go there and put your name in and sign up for an account, and then start writing songs and posting it, figuring out how to post them up there in a way. You post either to my tunes are up on SoundCloud. SoundCloud/Pippa Letsky. You can hear all my FOM tunes up there. I had to get a friend to get me onto Bandcamp so I could remove some stuff and put it on Bandcamp to make space for the SoundCloud. So now I'm on.
You said it's pretty much open to anybody. They can go in and listen to it then at any time. Okay.
Yeah, you go to FOM.org. Yeah. And you make an account, and then you have free access to some of these people are phenomenal musicians. Yeah. I mean, and so creative, and such fun. And somebody wrote a tune, somebody wrote a waltz. He was reading from the London Times from the 1700s or the 1800s about what an indecent and immoral dance the waltz was. So he's playing this lovely, luscious waltz on the piano and reading from 1700s or 1800s London Times this article about how obscene and immoral and how no parent should let his daughter, ever dance the waltz. You know, that sort of stuff.
That's interesting.
Yeah, sure. And there's a woman in London called Wobbie Wobbit. WOBBIE Wobbie Wobbit. She's a comedian, and she wrote a song about the urban fox, and she's got the sound of the urban foxes, screeching in the background, and then it's urban fox rocks and blocks, and splitting opinions like bin bags, like trash bags. You know how they get into the trash bags and split the trash bags? Yeah. Splitting opinions like bin bags, splitting opinions like bin bags. It's brilliant. Just brilliant. The talent and the creativity is a real boost to February.
I can imagine. For sure.
Kind of like the Cabana.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Sticky's Cabana is a real boost to the local talent.
Yes, we appreciate that for sure. Well, while you're talking about the Cabana there, you performed at the Cabana.
I did.
Tell us what your thoughts are on everything.
It was fun. I loved it. Yeah. I love playing outside at night, watching the moon. Mm-hmm. And everybody was so kind, and everybody was listening, and good sound system. Yeah. You got a good sound engineer here.
Yeah, that's Lucas behind the camera there.
Yeah, Lucas behind the camera. But it was a really, really very friendly, very supportive, very encouraging. And I felt fine just standing up there sharing my tunes. You know, it's like these people like music. Yeah,
that's what we're all about.
Yeah,
for sure.
And all kinds of music. Yeah. Which is extra special. Being able to
community-driven, local musicians is our big thing.
Yeah, no, it was fun. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
So you spoke about that you started playing fiddle when you were 45.
Yeah.
How long have you been playing music?
Well, I was singing church songs and getting all the words wrong and everybody laughing at me when I was 3.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, you go to Sunday school and you come back with all the words backwards. So, I mean, I was always singing. And then my parents got me piano lessons when I was 7. And I played from the age of 7 to the age of 18. But I got difficult during being a teenager. I wanted to quit. And my teacher she was good. She said, you don't have to do exams. You don't have to do grades. You don't have to do scales. You don't have to do sight reading. Just keep playing. So she played me pieces and that I could learn. And so I kept playing, but I never learned to sight read, you know, because it was too hard and I was a teenager. And I wished I did learn to sight read because, you know, some people can sit down and just read. They've got a book there and they've never heard it before and they can just read it, and I can't.
It's all by ear.
It's all by ear, and it's hard work. I mean, with my writing the tunes, I write them out painstakingly, hunt and peck, on this computer program called MuseScore. It's free. So I write out the notes of the tunes. Actually, that's not the best way of looking at it. Is here. I write out the tunes, and then I go through them with the chords, and I add the guitar chords. But that's basically how. It's very simple, very simple, but it's good enough for to get the idea of the tunes. Yeah. So I started when I was 7. I should be really good, but I'm not. I haven't put the time in. You know, you have to put a lot of time in if you want to get good.
We think you're good, so that's okay. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
You've been playing for a long time, so yeah. You know, it's a while.
Yeah.
You know, not bad for 21 years of age now. Yeah.
Picking up the fiddle at 45 and being 21. Yep.
Yeah. Explain that one. Yeah. So, who would you say with your music is your biggest inspiration?
Oh, yeah, that was a question that made me think. I don't have a biggest inspiration. I really don't, but I do have a guitarist that I am absolutely in love with at the moment. He saved my tail throughout COVID because he did a 4-hour live concert he's in Scotland. He's English. His name is Tim Edey, Edey, and he's kind of a savant where music is concerned. He talks an awful lot. You know, he chatters, and he will chatter while he's playing as well. And he'll start saying, "Oh, I'll tell you this story," and he never gets around to the story. Because he's distracted by all the comments coming in and stuff like that. He's really a scatterbrain, but when he plays, he is just exquisitely beautiful, and brings tears to my eyes sometimes. I mean, especially during COVID when we were all locked inside, and so Tim Edey is my big rave at the moment. Yeah,
there you go.
Since COVID. He's not doing the live. He's doing live concerts now, so he's not doing the live stream so much as he used to.
More of a concerts now because everybody else is out and about doing it too. Yeah, for sure.
And also, I mean, the Beatles when I was a kid. Yeah. Because I actually went to see the Beatles. My brother, who just died, he took me to see the Beatles.
Yeah, but that was nice.
Oh,
yeah.
London Palladium, 1964.
Yeah. And here's a little trivia for you. You know what the Beatles were called before they were called the Beatles?
Oh. I did used to, but I don't.
It's the Minutemen.
That's right.
Yeah. Shows you. Yeah, for sure.
Long time ago.
I'd forgotten
that.
So with as long as you've been playing, I'm sure you still have goals with your music. What's some goals that you still have with everything?
Just to keep on writing tunes. Keep on busking. I love to play out. I don't particularly like to do a show because I never know what to wear. Yeah. And it's nice to have people listening, but it's hard to find people who will listen now. But I love to play the farmers markets. And there's the Orr Street Farmers Market, the Orr Street Farm and Art Market on Sunday mornings. And I'm hoping that I'll get to play there this on Sundays again. I busk out at Arrow Rock once a month on the boardwalk, which is a lot of fun. Outside the ice cream parlor, and
that's perfect.
That is the best ice cream.
Yes,
homemade ice cream. It is really good ice cream. When the Badger's Hideaway, the ice cream parlor closes, the Catalpa Cafe, they don't sponsor me financially, but they sponsor me emotionally, and I can play outside their door. And so Arrow Rock once a month, and there's a Moberly Farmers Market that I'm hoping I'll play once a month. And then the Columbia Farmers Market, I play as often as I can, which is once a season.
Yeah. Yeah. You get all kinds of free fruits and veggies out of that. Yeah,
excellent pay.
I know that, yeah.
Yeah. That's the best pay.
Yeah.
The Columbia Farmers Market is really good pay. You come home with bags.
Big old tote full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of really good food.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, what's some local artists and bands that that you would like to play with that you haven't yet?
Oh, I would like to play with my own band again, the Pippa and the Straw Men, because we had a lot. I really love Steve's words, and I really like the songs we write with him, but they're defunct anymore, and I don't think we'll get them back. We might do. Local bands that I would like. Oh, Keith Fletcher's one-man blues band.
Yeah. I
don't know if you've ever heard him.
I've heard the name, yeah.
Yeah. He's a really great... I played with him at Como Smoke and Fire. We had a regular gig for a couple of years, and that was a blast. I'm not really good at playing the blues on the fiddle, but I would love to learn it again, and play with him again. That would be fun. And, Pete Skolka's band, Mr. Fun. Yeah. I'm doing a workshop with them this afternoon.
Are you?
Yeah, a jazz workshop.
And he's got the Fried Crawdaddies.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be a fun band to play with.
I can imagine that.
Yeah.
They play all around town. You see them playing quite a bit.
Yeah.
I've met Pete a few times. He's a real nice individual. Got a real nice recording studio out at his place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he recorded my 2 Fiddle Tunes albums and the 2 Strawman albums that are up on Bandcamp. Well, he does a superb job.
He does. He
really is. He's a savant.
Yeah. Yeah. I met Pete years ago. I owned a lawn and landscape company, and I cut firewood in the fall, and they needed firewood.
Yes.
And I don't know how many cords of wood I took to them, but that's where I first met Pete.
Yeah.
And then from there...
Did he show you the inside the studio?
Yeah.
That's a lovely space, isn't it?
Yeah. That thing's huge.
Yes.
It's great. It's great.
Yes. It's a lovely space. I'm hoping to do some recording there in a bit. There's a young man, the guy who is hosting World Woman on the first Sunday of the month. His name is... I suppose I shouldn't give it... Let's call him Dallas Bridges, because that's what he's called on the air. And he's a really fine piano player. He's been playing since he was a kid with his family, playing dances and stuff. So I've asked him to help me out with a couple of tracks that weren't so good on my first fiddle album. So we're gonna ask Pete if I could, record some more tracks.
Well, that'll be nice.
Yeah, because he's a really fine piano player, and I'm a better fiddler than I was when I recorded the first album. Still not good, but
well, there you go.
Better than I was.
So, what would you say are the top 3 artists that you like right now?
Well,
of the last few years, anyway.
Over the last few years, Timmy Edie and Wee Banjo 3. Wee Banjo 3 is a bluegrass band it's a Irish bluegrass mix band out of Ireland. It's 2 sets of brothers, the Howleys, Martin Howley and David Howley, and the Skahills, Enda Skahill on banjo and Fergal Skahill on fiddle. And Fergal did... for 2017, he did a fiddle tune a day, up on YouTube, Fergal Skahill's Fiddle Tune a Day, 2017. That's where I first saw him and fell in love with him. And he developed a wedding ring halfway through the season. I had to go back, day by day to find out when it came on. And it was such a sweet thing. The day he said, "This tune is dedicated to Ruth. Thank you so much for becoming my wife today." It was lovely. Such a sweetheart. But anyway, then he was teaching up in Milwaukee, at the Milwaukee Irish Fest, so I had to go to Milwaukee because I had to do a lesson with Fergal Scahill because I'd already fallen in love with him because, he was such a sweet man. And I went to him and I gave him one of my compendium books, and he said, "Well, which tune do you want to play?" I said, What do you mean?" He said, "I'm doing, I'm always looking for new tunes that I haven't done before. I'm doing a fiddle tune a day to 2019. What song do you want to play?" I went, I played out a tune, but he learned it in 3 seconds. I mean, it wasn't a complicated tune.
Yeah, he got it pretty quickly.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. That was a tune I wrote for my daughter. So Fergal Scahill.
Yeah.
And Enda, his brother, who's a phenomenal banjo player. He does a podcast on banjo players. And the band, I think they're taking a break. I'm not sure if they'll, but anyway, We Banjo 3. Yeah. It's a really, really inspiring band. And Mr. Fun, Pete Skulkers with the Hennessy Brothers. Mm-hmm. That's a fun band. Yeah. That's a really fun band. And the Fried Crawdaddies.
Yes.
Because that's a really fun band. I mean, once you get into it.
Yeah, there's a lot.
There's a lot
there for sure. So is there any type of genre of music that you listen to that would surprise people?
There's a podcast out of England called The Invisible Folk Club.
Okay.
A podcast, and they asked me to do a podcast with them, and that was fun. And I was talking about, my shows, doing my shows on the radio. And he listened. And he wrote back and he said, "You're playing an awful lot of modern music." He's a folk guy. I play ska. I mean, I play a lot of African. I love that. There are some phenomenal African musicians. Mm-hmm. And I love the African rhythms, and I love the Latin American rhythms, And here I am playing kind of Celtic fiddle tunes, and then I get into this funky bass, So maybe that's what would surprise.
That may be it there.
Yeah.
When people surprising people.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, now we have another word from the sponsor.
Show Me Guitars is your only full-service, locally owned music shop, with a full retail showroom offering all the top name brands for guitar, bass, and amplification. They offer the highest quality instruments with the lowest possible pricing. And don't forget, Show Me Guitars also has your favorite accessories and add-ons, including an entire effects pedal section. Not interested in new? Not a problem. Show Me Guitars has plenty of used items to choose from. They are also happy to take your old trade-in to get you into something new. And here's the kicker. Show Me Guitars has a Fender certified repair shop for guitars and amplifiers. With over 20 years of experience, Show Me Guitars is here to help. Call them at 573-442-9141 or stop by at 3906 Peachtree Drive in Columbia, Missouri, 65203 on the south side.
And we're back. All right, so see that you have your guitar with you and everything. Do you mind playing us a couple tunes?
I don't mind at all.
Oh, there we go.
I don't mind at all. These are songs, as I said, the lyrics are by my neighbor, Steve Odell, and I put them to words. And this song is called Looking Up at the Moon, and I have to sing. It's a short song, so I sing it twice, also because you need to hear the words, was looking up at the moon, wondering why it's there, perfectly positioned to control the ocean tides. There are holes and craters, space rocks and moon dust, and the footprints of the astronauts who left them behind. It's the Earth's only permanent natural satellite. It's the second brightest celestial object in Earth's sky. It is thought to have formed about 4.51 billion years ago. That is a long time. I was looking up at the moon, wondering why it's there, perfectly positioned to control the ocean tide. There are holes and craters, space rocks and moon dust, and the footprints of the astronauts left them behind. It's the Earth's only permanent natural satellite. It's the second brightest celestial object in Earth's sky. It is thought to have formed about 4.51 billion years ago. That is a long time.
There you go. Very nice.
Yeah. He has a way with words.
Yeah.
People send me words, you know. Oh, you like to put words to music, and yeah. And I read the words and it's like, you know. But his words have always got this quirk.
Mm-hmm.
There's this little in it that it's like, what did you just say? You know.
Yeah, there you go.
Like,
So you got us one more for us?
Yep.
Alrighty.
this one's called The Folk Singer.
Okay.
There was a folk singer, she played guitar, she sang of sorrow and lost love, to a room full of empty chairs. She drinks cheap beer, plays all the songs on her list, words she wrote from her sweet tender heart flow from her lips. You can feel in her song, memories flow on, and the folk singer, she'll remain. Forgotten the words. We'll get there in the end. She brushes off the men who think she can be bought with one kind word and a handful of change. Her life is full of things from the past best forgot. You can feel in her song, memories flow on. and the folk singer, she'll remain. She counts out the change by the jar by the door, and it's closing time in this Midwestern bar, where they roll up the sidewalk at night. You can feel in her song memories flow on, and the folk sing her, she'll remain. And the folk sing her, she'll remain.
There you go.
Nothing like forgetting the words in the middle of it.
That's okay though. Everybody does it. Everybody does. And one part in that song that kind of caught me there, talking about the roll up the sidewalks. When it's dark. I grew up in many a town like that. Yeah, and that's exactly what what happened.
Yeah.
5, 6 o'clock at night, it's gone.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So this segment of it, what we like to do is we like to get a little more lighthearted and stuff, and have a little more funny times and stuff. And so we always ask everybody a few questions. And one of the questions that we're going to ask is, do you have a favorite conspiracy theory or cryptid?
No.
No?
I read for a living, and I read very, very solemn scholarly analysis and much research stuff with a lot of, peer review and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So conspiracy theories don't really... But I do have a very poignant...
Okay.
This is the Desiderata. And my conspiracy theory here is... Whether or not it's clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Can I read the whole thing?
Absolutely, yeah.
Go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible without surrender, be on good terms with all people. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even to the dull and the ignorant. They too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexatious to the spirit. If you compare yourselves to others, you may become vain or bitter, for always there will be greater and lesser people than yourselves. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career, however humble. It is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many people strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself.
Yeah.
Especially do not feign affection. Neither be cynical about love, for in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it's as perennial as the grass. This one's hard. Take kindly the counsel of years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune, but do not distress yourself with dark imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars, and you have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive him to be, and whatever your labors and aspirations in the noisy confusion of life, keep peace in your soul. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it's still a beautiful world. Be cheerful and strive to be happy. And this was, sent around saying it was found in some ancient church in the 1300s, which is not true. It's written by Max Ehrman in 1927. Yeah. But it's called the Desiderata. And I love that conspiracy theory that the universe is unfolding as it should.
Unfolding as it should.
Yeah, whether it's clear or not to you.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
So one question that's not on the list that I've never really asked anybody either, but I found that may be interesting. You grew up in Italy, correct?
No.
Or England?
No.
No? Where'd you grow up
No, I'm a child of the universe. I was born in England, 30 miles south of London, and we left when I was a baby, 6 months old.
Okay.
And we went to Montreal, and so I spent my first 3 years in Montreal. and then the next 2 years in Vancouver, Canada, and then 6 months in England, which was a very lonesome time. And on my 6th birthday, we got on the boat and we took a month to get to Australia. And we were in Australia until I was 10.
Okay.
And then we took a month on the boat coming back. And I landed in England. I did not like England. I was Australian. And, you know, I was climbing trees and running around barefoot. And you can't run around barefoot in England. It's too wet. And it's cold and wet and grey. And I did not like England. And so I did my secondary school there. And I went to university. I went to London. I got fired. I went to and that's when I went to Italy to teach English as a foreign language.
Yeah. Well, that kind of went with my question. You know, where I was going was tell us a little bit about where you grew up at. So that's perfect.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
Bits and pieces everywhere. What I did grow up in, it was. I mean, I was repotted so many times that when I landed here, it's like, I don't care if it's the right place or the wrong place. I'm not moving.
Not moving again.
I'm not moving. I need relationships that are longer than, you know, than 4 years. And so, and I've got my adopted sisters that I told you about. I've got adopted family here, and my daughter is not adopted. My daughter is real. She's in Kansas City, so
well, you got family close then.
I've got I got family.
That's
and
what you need.
I've got family in England. You know, 3 brothers left. Two brothers left in England.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So another question that we have here. This was asked by a patron of ours. You know, somebody that comes out to the Cabana quite a bit. Why can you purchase 100 fish sticks but not 100 mozzarella sticks?
Well, mozzarellas don't come in sticks; they come in balls.
Yeah.
Mozzarella balls.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah,
I have no
question,
answer.
isn't it?
Yeah.
So we did find out though that you can purchase them commercially, and so there's an Amazon link, and I sent it to him actually, and it's 192 count mozzarella sticks and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
cool.
a little bit more than what we were asking, even, you know. Yeah, for sure.
Can you actually get mozzarella sticks?
Yeah. So like fried mozzarella sticks, like a lot of bars have them.
Okay.
A
Yeah.
lot of restaurants for appetizers and stuff like that, but you know that's gonna plug you up a little bit, I'm sure. Yeah.
I think it probably would if you ate 192 or whatever it is.
Yeah, you'd be in trouble. Dairy, so much dairy.
Yeah.
And then one final kind of more lighthearted question: can you tell us an embarrassing moment that's happened to you?
That might be lighthearted for you. It's not so much lighthearted for me. Yeah, I remember one of the most embarrassing. I was playing with a band, a bluegrass band. I was playing fiddle. It was the first time I played fiddle in a band. We were doing a concert to the most people I'd ever played in front of, you know, like 200 or 300 or something. And I stepped up to the microphone to do my break, and I landed on the wrong string, and I had no clue where I was. Yeah. It was, I mean, the fiddle, when it works, there's nothing to beat it. There's nothing sweeter. You know, you really think you're soaring, like flying like an eagle over the mountains. And if it decides to rub your face in the mud, it does it really well. Yeah, the fiddle can be very, very embarrassing. Yeah. Yes.
You probably took you a second to probably get back on track then.
I did not get back on track. The whole break, I was I was thrown completely for a loop. I had no idea where I was. I had no idea what the tune was, and I was completely lost. Yeah. And that's happened to me again. That happened to me again recently. It's up on YouTube, and I'm not going to tell you.
Enough research for me to find it. You never know. You never know.
It was really bad. You know, I was meant to walk in and open up a play, and I got totally distracted just before I walked into the door, and had no clue what was going on. And when the fiddle wants to make you humble you, it will humble you.
Yeah, it sounds like it for sure. For sure. So, what do you have in store for 2023?
2023, lots of busking.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of busking, lots of tunes. I've got I bring out 2 books a year. One book is the little one. This is the one from 2 years ago. It's the Year of the Ox. This was the year of the ox.
Okay.
This year's at the layout lady. It's going to be maybe ready on Monday, and I'll get it printed. It'll be the year of the tiger.
Okay.
And there's a young woman, my neighbor, who has drawn me 6 wonderful tigers, black and white drawings of tigers. That each one's got a wonderful character. So the year of the tiger is coming out soon, and compendium number 5 will be coming out this year, 23, and it will be, instead of, this was, number 4 was 177 tunes, number 5 is 122, something like that, an awful lot of tunes. And they have black and white photos, you know, they're all, that's Miss Izzy, that's a cat, you know, and I've got queenly Miss Izzy. So they have black and white photos and tunes mixed, and it's fun.
Yeah.
So I've got 10 more years after this year of the year of the Chinese cat astrologies. So I have 8 more little yearly books. That's all the tunes I wrote between the end of January and the end of January per year, you know. So last year's the year of the tiger. Right now I'm writing tunes for the year of the rabbit. And Ricky Birch, who did the drawings, she's going to do me rabbits for next year. So I'm bringing out books.
Yeah.
I don't sell very many of them. I tend to give them away. You know, people do me favors. I say, would you like a book? I'm going to be re-recording some of the tunes on the Fiddle Tunes for My Dad album, because I recorded it before I could really play in tune on the fiddle. And so we need to change out the worst of the tunes there. So I'm going to get a new version of the Fiddle Tunes for My Dad's CD that goes with the book. It's also got the tune book. And I think maybe I might even be thinking of working on another CD. I don't know. They probably won't be physical copies CDs. They'll probably be Bandcamp CDs for download.
How many albums do you have out?
I have made 7 or 8. I think I have 4 up on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
I have, I did a bluegrass album with a bunch of bluegrass pickers that were phenomenal, called Diamond in the Rough, and that's a hard copy. And the tune books and CDs are available at gigs, you know, my buskin. And then I did a double album, 2 albums called Animal Crackers, which were all animal tunes, you know, Crawdad Song and all a lot of, they're all animal tunes, old time and bluegrass. So it's 2 CDs and it's mixed, half old time and half bluegrass. I did the very first CD I did was a friend of mine. We had lunch every 2 weeks, and she called me and said she had kidney cancer, and I went, oh dear. And I was used to seeing her every 2 weeks. She was dead within two months.
Wow.
So I was used to seeing her every 2 weeks. So it was like 3 times later and she was gone. And it was such a shock, and it made me realize, you know, whatever you want to do, you better do it now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have there's no guarantee. And I always wanted to do, and the other thing is, you know, if you're in a church, they like you to tithe 10% of whatever you do to your spiritual center. Well, my spiritual center is music. So I thought, well, I could tithe. You know, I was making like $25,000 a year. So 2,500 is 10%. I could make a CD for that. So my very first CD was 3 songs that I played at her memorial service. And her family said, you know, months later they said, do you have a CD of those songs? Because I know they were lovely, but I can't remember a thing about it because it was a memorial service. And I said, not yet.
May have to work on that. Yeah.
And they helped me finance the first. I did 3 songs for Sally, you know, because she was the one that clued me in on this. So 3 songs for Sally, Diamond in the Rough, the 2 Animal Crackers albums. I did one. I've got one album. I don't know if I have any more copies of that, but by a real fine Missouri fiddler called Lynn Wells.
Okay.
And I played backup guitar. It was a a live recording from a gig. That was live at the Cherry Street Artisan. It was a place that closed down.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, we used to play lunch there, and he'd come, and he was fiery, wonderful fiddler.
Yeah.
So there's the live, and then I have the 2 fiddle albums. One of them is going to be redone, you know, to make it a bit more audibly accessible. 2 fiddle albums and 3 strawman albums. But
got quite a few out.
yeah, 2 of them are 2 strawman albums are up on, and I was listening to one of them today. It was like, whoa, that's a good album, you know. So 1 fiddle album's up there, 2 strawman album, and a compilation of the Animal Crackers, one of the Animal Crackers.
Yeah. I think with you mentioned that Crawdad song. I'm pretty sure you performed that at the Cabana. I'm pretty
You got a line, I got a poem, honey.
Yeah. Yep. I'm
That's
pretty
fun.
sure you performed that at the Cabana.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun.
So, do you have any contact info when you wait for people to get a hold of you if they'd like you to perform?
Well, I have a website, pippaletsky.com, pippaletsky.com. pippaletsky.com. You can. There's my email address is hidden in there. Scroll down at the bottom, you'll find my email address. Pippa Letsky Bandcamp. SoundCloud Pippa Letsky, Facebook Pippa Letsky.
Yeah.
Always the same name.
Yeah, there you go. It's a simple way to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Keeps it simple.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Pippa, I definitely appreciate you coming on today.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me.
Absolutely.
What a joy.
Yeah.
It's always a joy dealing with you, Sticky.
There we go. That's what we hear from time to time.
Yeah, it's a just outright joy.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And, folks, catch y'all next week.